Hi, my name's Shay Christensen, and I read an article on PCBs and dioxins in food in the Netherlands. The title of the study was called Dioxin and Dioxin-like PCBs Occurrence in Dietary Intake in the Netherlands. And they're interested in the intake of PCBs in their food. So scientists in the Netherlands are interested in these type of studies, and they wish to find relative dioxin levels in the food that their general population consumes. And they wish to figure out the importance of the food groups that are contaminated and compare all of their findings to other studies that have been recently done. So what are dioxins in PCBs? When a PCB molecule rotates, which they often do, the molecule becomes toxic. They negatively influence an organism's growth and development, causing immune and reproductive development issues. And in recent years, many studies have shown that these dioxins are present in our foods. So this study analyzes the dioxins in the Netherlands. So these scientists followed a very long and tedious method. So in very short terms, they basically used foods from the DNFCS, which is the Dutch National Food Consumption Survey. This survey was a record of 6,250 individuals who wrote down their food intake over a year. This list of foods was then refined multiple times, eliminating the foods that weren't known to contain any dioxins. And then they took this refined list and talked to the Netherlands Nutrient Bank to find out the percentages of fat in each of the foods and what types of fat that they contained. After the revision process was done, they eliminated all but 18 food categories, and all with different types of fats and oils. So solvents were then used to isolate the fat portion of the foods and then dried out to mask the total fat. Next, they dissolved the fat in the dichloromethane, which enabled them to calculate the amount of toxin in the foods. For the dietary intake portion, they used the data from the Dutch National Food Consumption Survey to find the frequency that the individuals were eating of certain foods. So here are the results that they found. In meat, dairy products, and eggs, the average was 3 pg per grams of fat. The highest was in chicken, and the lowest was in pork. And fish, which was higher than meat products, had an average of 31.8 pg per grams of fat, and the highest was in the more fatty fish, compared to the lower end was the prepared fish. And vegetables had an average concentration of 0.02 pg per grams of fat. And that just has to do with the fact that meats and fish and poultry are fattier than a vegetable, and the toxins are found in fats. So they found that the intake of dioxins is most present in younger kids, but not because of the foods that we're feeding the kids. It's due to the weight and body fat ratio of a child. They obviously don't have as much body fat as an adult. And they found that a lifelong daily intake average is 5.6 ng per kilograms. So this graph shows the correlation between the amount of PCBs consumed in this population compared to the years. So we can see that the intake is obviously declining, which is a really good thing. And we just hope that it continues to decline until there's no longer PCBs in our food. So in conclusion, dioxins can harm your health. They are bad for your reproductive and immune systems. This study showed that it didn't appear that dioxins are a huge issue in the Netherlands right now, but they do need to be regulated and to be continued to be studied. And an issue that I found was that they didn't gather food from the same geographical locations. They were actually really spread out. So what came to my mind was our foods that are in season or are imported from other places. is an issue in this study. So here's a few questions that I would like everyone to answer. That the answers can be found in these slides. What two systems are affected by harmful dioxins the most? Is the presence of dioxins in food in the Netherlands going up or down according to the trends that I presented? And what two things that dioxins have been used for since the 1920s, so previous uses of these dioxins. And here are my references for my slides, and I really appreciate you watching. Thanks so much.